Welcome, everyone. I'm Kimberly Boschman, and this is the Intentionally Intuitive Podcast. In this episode, we're going to take a look at each life path number, the forecast for the new moon that's occurring on December 12th, 2023. Before we get into the forecast, I just want to mention that this is a general reading. If you would like a personalized reading for your own personal numerology, please book some time with me. My information is in the description box below. I would love to work with you. This is also a great time to get your year ahead forecast and your diamond forecast for 2024. If you haven't done that yet, you can head on over to my website, book some time with me. I'd love to take a look. All right, let's go ahead and dive in. Life path number 5, you all are working with some very magical energy around this new moon. So you've got the energy of the 9, and then you also have the energy of dragonfly. So let's talk about dragonfly first. So this, of course, is all about magic. It's just incredibly beautiful energy for making wishes, for optimism, for sometimes seeing things speed up. So if there's been something that you've been waiting to happen, if you've been working on something and it's been moving kind of slow, you could see it speed up at this time. Of course, dragonfly can often bring in sort of or signify change coming, but that's not really what I'm getting with this in correlation to the energy of the 9. What I really feel like could be coming in is some things closing out and new things coming in, and seeing sort of that process speeding up for you. So there could be some projects that you've been working on or some things that you've been trying to, again, sort of close out or clear out, and you're sort of getting assistance in that at this time. And you can kind of wrap that up with a nice bow, move it off your plate, and then clear your plate for something more to come in or something new to come in that's much more aligned. So it's sort of like getting this unseen helping hand, so to speak, but there's a speed to it almost. Like if it seems like it's been moving very slowly, you could see it pick up the pace, so to speak. There's also, it's interesting because with dragonfly as well as with the 9 energy, there's sort of also this pause that comes into play. And so with the dragonfly, I think of like the hovering, right? A lot of times you see them sort of just hovering in place, collecting their thoughts, so to speak. And with the 9 energy, there's also like this pause. It's like sort of more about receptivity, not forcing, not pushing, not necessarily initiating or starting something new just yet, but more taking stock of where it is that you are, the progress that you've already made, closing out what needs to be closed out, and again, clearing your plate for the new to come in, but not necessarily forcing or pushing too hard or trying to control things too much. This, when you're working with a 9 cycle, and it's interesting for you all because, we're working with a new moon, which usually is about new starts, initiations, setting intentions. But with a 9 energy, it's more about, again, sort of hitting that pause button and taking notice of, where you're at this moment. And then, if inspiration comes in for you, if new ideas, write them down. Don't necessarily take action on them just yet, if you can avoid doing that. This is more about sort of letting things sort of marinate, so to speak. So hitting the pause button, letting things sort of marinate or gel. And then I would say next month for you all would be about that big new start, like really taking initiative next month. This month is going to be more about, again, sort of really sitting within the magic of, how far you've come, the effort that you've put in, what's happening right now, as well as, the insights and the inspirations that could come in for you around this new moon. Because that's one thing that you might see come in quite strongly is new ideas, new inspirations, new insights. And so again, I would say this isn't necessarily the time to take action on those, but definitely write them down, sit with them, see how they feel, start to create some kind of a plan for moving forward. And definitely see what comes to you at this time. This is definitely a time for receptivity, for allowing things to come to you. You've put in the effort, you've done the work. Now see what comes to you and then make decisions from that space. If there's things that you feel called to initiate or feel called to work on, and it flows, it moves really gently, and it progresses with ease, absolutely go for it. The key here under this energy is to not force anything, to not push too hard. It's a more feminine type of energy where it's more about, again, receptivity, seeing what comes in, and then you deciding what to do with it as it comes in. Either it's a yes or it's a no, and you get to decide. What's interesting also with this 9 energy is this can hold a lot of like fated events or destined events. So it's not uncommon for people who go through 9 cycles, usually more long-term cycles, but it doesn't have to be a long-term cycle. It can be a quick cycle, and especially around a new moon, this is fertile ground for this, to meet like a soulmate or a partner that's sort of, I don't want to say lifelong, although it could be lifelong, or a partner who feels like a soulmate, like you've known each other across lifetimes, or it was destined that the two of you meet type thing. And it could be very synchronistic. So this is very, very possible. And it doesn't have to be a romantic partnership. Obviously, it can be business partnership. It can be a friendship. It can also be a new pet or something like that. So a furry friend is very possible under these energies, because again, you've got dragonfly, which is, brings the magic. Then you've got that 9 energy, which is very about, again, like fated, destined events. And then the new moon. So this is a new start for something. And it's not uncommon, again, under a 9 cycle to meet a very, like a soulmate, right? A very destined partnership in some way. So pay attention for sure. If you're walking down the street and you get called to go into a shop or something like that, follow your follow your intuition and go for it. You don't know who you're going to meet, and they could be someone very, very significant for you. But as with fated events and destined events, we can't mess those up. They find us. So don't put too much pressure on it. Don't force it. That's a big energy or a big keynote for you all under this new moon is don't force it. If there's something that you feel like you have to force, just set it down. Just release it under this energy. If you try to force it, you may have buyer's remorse after the fact. So this is just a time for letting things flow, for letting things come to you, to let the magic find you. So beautiful, beautiful energy. But definitely tap into it, right? Follow the synchronicities, follow the signs, so to speak. And a lot of magic can happen for you all around this new moon. I'm loving this for you guys. All right, I hope it's a great one. Take care, fives. Bye for now.